Hey friends, what's going on? How are you today? Hopefully everyone can hear us. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. Hey Ann, how are you?
Hey, hey, hey! So excited for this live stream. Happy Friday. I can't even start, Claudia. I'm so excited because today we're talking parties and celebrations. So I guess I'm already like ready in the mindset.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
it
happy Friday, everyone.
I know. Yay. Yeah, and I'm
Yay!
seeing I'm
Thank
seeing
you,
that.
Idara. I know the crowd can hear us. Folks in the chat already. Hello,
Awesome.
hello,
Awesome.
friends.
I see Brad is there. We got some Timothy from Toronto. Brad and Timothy. Thank you so much. They're like our regulars on the show, and thank you always
Yep.
for being here for support. We're excited. Yeah, like you said, and it is graduation season. And at least here in Texas, it's already going. Like it's already
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Um,
I know
so
college graduations around here in Southern California have. The high school graduations are coming soon. But we're talking celebrations today. Claudio, tell us a little bit about you. I'll share about me and then,
I
let's jump
exactly,
in.
yeah. Hey everyone, thanks again for joining. I'm Claudio Savali Jr., education evangelist on the Adobe community education team, and I'm based in Texas, in Dallas Fort Worth area, and with me is always and I think we were the first two hosts of the very start of the Adobe Education, the Adobe Live Education Edition, and
Uh-huh.
so it's always good to join and be together on this. And so, Anne, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, well, Claudio, it's always a treat to get to live stream with you. You're a consummate pro. You make learning come alive in such creative ways. And folks, here's some behind the scenes Friday inspo. Like, I've known Claudio for almost maybe 15-ish years, 12 to 15 years, connected in the education technology community. So,
Yeah.
so excited to call him not only my teammate, but a friend. So,
Uh,
hey to you down in Texas. And y'all, hey to everybody out there. My name's Ann Cosma. I'm one of the education evangelists at Adobe. Um, Literally, like, I love creating with Adobe tools. We're talking celebrations today, dynamic invitations, and Claudio knows this, but I'm somebody who loves to make content. But I've probably spent so many hours making like like flyers.
yeah.
And today we're sharing so many tricks to speed up like how you can make creative content. But I'm over here in Southern California, so we've got you covered. I know Brad Nance, Tim Cosgrove, Abigail. We're so glad y'all are. We've got the chat
Yes.
open. Let us know where
Yeah.
you're tuning in from.
Please, yeah, do let us know. And it sounded like you were going to say fryer, and I mean, if we can do fryers in Adobe Express, that's the next level. I mean, I would love that. Like,
Could you
I'm already.
imagine?
So everyone, today, we're so excited. We're going to be, again, looking at some design projects, and especially right now because of school, the calendar, the time of year. We've got graduations coming, but we're going to talk about creating, designing and creating invitations, flyers for those huge celebrations. Anne.
Yeah, Claudia, you mentioned it, like graduation parties. Prom is a big thing right now in Southern California. End of year activities, school dances, teacher appreciation day,
Yes,
week,
yeah,
month, year. I mean, everything in between. We're doing all of it inside Adobe Express.
absolutely. I love that you mentioned teacher appreciation. Like I think it should be a month long celebration. So shout out to all the teachers out there. Thanks so much. And if you haven't tried Adobe Express for Education, it's 100% free. And what I really love is like you don't have to have any design experience.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have a degree in design because you can use a lot of the features. We'll talk about those features, and you can create these and then ready to print. And I'm gonna try see if it works out. I have my printer set up, so I'm gonna see as we go
Oh,
through
cool.
the design phase of this session. I'm gonna print it out and just see how it look, to share it out.
Sweet. Sweet. Hey,
But we're gonna do
Claudia, late breaking hello in the chat. Andy Knieven is watching in Zionsville, Indiana.
woo, hey
So
Andy.
shout out to our friend Andy. And we have
Yay.
Karen from Fort Lauderdale, Abigail's in Cary. And it's just awesome to see folks in the chat. We're so glad y'all are
Yeah,
here.
and let us know like in the chat too, like what type of celebrations that you're working on right now. Like, what are you designing? End of the year, end of the, and do you remember end of the year parties in the classroom? Like,
Yes.
um, which were exhausting. Yeah, and so, oh my god, I do miss those end of the year
Right.
parties.
Well, we're going to
Um,
have a learning party today, Claudio. And
absolutely.
folks, if you are new here, welcome. We're so glad you're turning in. Hit that subscribe button and turn on
Yes.
the notifications. We do these Adobe Live education editions, and the Adobe Live community here on YouTube is a dynamic place to learn. Claudio, I love listening into the other sessions. I'm constantly like up leveling my work skills inside a ton of Adobe products. But folks, we do not want you to miss these Adobe Live streams. It's a brilliant place to learn together.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm seeing more. I see some Karen joining us from Fort Lauderdale. And it
Yeah.
was a great to celebrate end of the year with everyone. We have someone from Denver, Kelsey. It looks like joining us from Denver. So excited to have
Oh,
all
awesome.
of you. And I know it's a busy time. It's like,
Yep.
but before we dive into Adobe Express for education, and let's talk about like why this matters for
Okay.
like for all of us, like for students, teachers, and parents.
Okay. So, Claudio, I'm going to push back with a question, and this is a
Yeah.
question for the chat. We get this from fellow educators, from families in the communities we taught in that we're still parts of. Like somebody might say, well, I want to make something that looks professional. I'm not a designer. I don't have the budget for custom content. What can I do? Have you ever heard that before?
Oh yeah, and I think one of the great things about because you have access to Adobe Express is a lot of you can use a lot of these templates already that are built
Yeah.
into there, thousands of them. And the great thing is that designers, with a crew of designers that will create these templates and thousands of them,
Yeah.
and which basically you have the idea. This is what I love. It's like you have like I've got this celebration, I've got this prom, I've got this party, this event. I just don't know where to get started, but with some keywords, you can drop those in and then customize it within a few minutes and get it out, which is great.
So, Claudia, let's talk. Like, we can customize anything, but let's talk what makes a good, whether it's a school celebration invite or any of the content. We want to communicate essentials
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
This is the who, what, when, where, the RSVP information, but we want the visual aesthetic to maybe match the energy of the event. For example, like a prom invite should feel elegant,
Mm-hmm.
and a pool party should feel fun, right?
Exactly.
If this is for school, you definitely want to match the school colors, the event identity, those colors, the mascot, your community spirit. And you already mentioned this, shareable, digitally or in print, which makes everything so simple for your personal needs or uses.
I love that, just how you communicate it in just based on thematic and what you would add to it. And here's the thing too, when students are designing these invites, it also becomes like a real world design, experience, communication project, and it's authentic learning. We just got back from the DECA conference, the DECA ICDC last couple
We
weeks
love
back.
DECA.
Yeah, it was amazing. And think about like a lot of the students at that real world design experience and projects that they're working. It was amazing to see them like in the hallways, like getting ready to present, like they were presenting on a wall, against a wall, like the two of the students like kind of going through. So it just makes it authentic learning.
I love it. Well, you talked about the real world, the authentic learning. Students are learning typography, maybe digging into color theory, layout, design, that audience awareness, all of the things, Claudio, and sometimes that digital output also is something they're using in their school community, or they're using it in their authentic lives. I love that word. Folks, I know we see in the chat, folks are working on summer things with the celebration of 250 years as a country. I
Nice.
know
Yeah.
the celebrations for end of school year. And Claudio, I have a surprise for you. I made some other ones for my own family that we'll be using this summer. We'll bring it up later in the
Oh,
live stream.
I'm looking forward to that. All right, so
Well, you ready to jump in and share your screen?
let's dive in. So let me
Okay.
let's switch let's go back to demo screen. By the way, everyone, like behind the scenes happening today, like I'm pressing all the buttons today. So so
Claudio is in the producer seat, the driver's seat. So he is literally driving this live stream. And we want to shout out the awesome Adobe Live community team. There's a whole team of folks producing
yes.
back end. They are the best. And if you
Yes.
saw what happened in Times Square in New York City this
Oh my
Sunday,
God, that's
there was
amazing.
this
That was
massive Adobe Firefly activation where the whole world could create digitally, and then they were celebrated on the big screens in Times Square.
that's
I know
pretty that
Brad Nance was featured. His
yes, he
designs were
was.
featured in Times Square.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't get it in time, and so I'm happy for Brad that he got his up on Times Square, which is pretty amazing.
Yep,
So yeah,
yep.
shout out
Well,
to the
Claudio, I see your screen. You're on that
yeah.
home page. And folks, this is where you get started. Anytime you launch into Adobe Express, we're working in Adobe Express for education. So that experience looks different. Of course, you can create in that consumer version or the cloud with Adobe Express. The templates are all there. The design features, the button clicks, that workflow for the user experience is very similar, but the visual here is a little bit different when you land on that home screen. Since we are in the education version, you see those quick start options right at the top to teach, create, and edit. And that search bar is right there. And we're going to be doing searching today. It might be our best friend, Claudio.
Exactly. Yeah. And shout out to Anne. You and Martha did a great job on our creative wrap up. So I just want to plug those in. So if you haven't had a chance, go watch that. But also here is a creative wrap up. So check those out. So yeah. So let's kind of just do a little exploring
Okay.
on the template. So at the top right there, you mentioned so one thing that I love about Adobe Express and a lot of the Adobe tools is multiple points of entry. And I just want to point that out here. So you've got
Yes.
search for templates and more up here, the search bar, which is in this black menu bar here, up here at the top. But also if you go to your left-hand menu, you will also see templates right there. So, you know, either way you can access the template. So we're just kind of dive into some, taking a look at a few of the templates that are in here. So if I type in, let's see, graduation, let's say invitation.
Yep. And
No,
graduation, college graduation, Claudio. Shout out to your daughter who just
thank you.
graduated from
Yeah.
the University of Texas at Austin. So
Yeah.
we're carrying over those graduation
Woo!
vibes with
Oh,
so many still
absolutely.
upcoming. But
Abs-
while he's typing that in, folks, I just want to say that template, it's my starting. But Claudio, jump in and show us or tell us what you've got.
Awesome. Okay. Hold on. I'm just checking. It looks like my streamers are making. Oh, there. We're back. We're back up. I had a little hiccup there for a sec. Back up where you were saying. What was
Yeah,
it?
so as you're searching that template on the left-hand rail, folks can like personalize, search by occasion, search by format of what they want to create. And I know like we're going to talk flyers or invitations or social media posts. So as you have searched for the graduation invitation, show us where you're at now on the screen and all the things that folks can see or
Awesome. Yeah.
choose from.
Yeah. So when I'm typing graduation invitation, so I've got multiple results. So I've got, because that search bar at the top says templates and more. So if you see, I've got quick up here at the top is giving me the kind of the organized by category. So I've got quick actions, templates here, and photos. So it's giving me pretty much like anything that's tagged in Adobe Express that has like graduation invitation attached to it. So that's why I'm seeing all these different assets. So I've got design assets, backgrounds, videos, and then the templates. Now, you were talking about like fine tuning, and so what I'll do is
Yeah.
right here it says templates. The button up here, so I'll click templates, and then here is where I get a little bit of a fine tuning of like what I'm looking for. So specifically, like let's say um, look at this right here. This is like even like what is it? You can get granular in your search.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preschool graduation, high school, college graduation celebration invitation, and like a graduation ticket. I'm just gonna go back.
So, you were talking about the tickets, different sizes, different formats. I know folks sometimes want like something for an Instagram or a school
Yeah,
social account, or you do want that like that digitally print, like, the digital printout. So whether it's 8.5 by 11 or newsletter size or a 5 by 7 card,
yeah. So
so many possibilities. And you can resize to any of these formats with just a couple clicks. But folks, we'll show you that later too.
yeah, and like you're
And you and Wezzy and I. But folks, let us know in the chat any of the celebration things do you use? Are you creating flyers, invitation cards, social media posts? I love creating stuff on mobile, and I just text it to my family or text it to my friends. So when we get into more of the examples, and we'll talk about some of the stuff in the demo that's coming right up. But it's so easy. Yeah, Claudia, look at all those teacher appreciation ones as you scroll through.
yeah, and I'm just getting prepared up here. So um, then we could like say flyers. So
Yep.
if the flyers, if I want to look at different sizes, look at letter, something formatted size. But even then, even if I pick the letter size,
Yeah.
I can change it up and do any size pretty much what I
Yeah.
want. So you talked about prom flyers. Let's click on prom. So we've got some prom stuff. Look at this. And and I love when you mentioned like the prom's kind of got this elegant kind of feel to it, kind of a I would say Great Gatsby kind of feel to it.
Yeah. Oh,
So yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
so it looks like I'm just having we might be having a little bit of a bug happening here. So we might be breaking in and out, but folks, please bear with us. Hang in here, hang in here. All
Folks
right.
are rocking in. I just
Yeah.
dropped in the chat. Let us know what you would create. Claudio, I see
Yes.
that we're still on a prom template. Why don't we go back? Do you want to go back to a
Let's
graduation
let's
template
go back.
and start creating from there? And folks, while he's creating, I'm sort of going to narrate and like think aloud or talk aloud about what he's doing so folks can follow along. Claudio, whether folks are doing this on their laptop or even their phone, we're starting by selecting and opening a template, which
Yes.
Claudio has said you can click on that button that says customize and it loads right into the editor. So which one
Yeah.
are you going to pick, Claudio?
So it's just so, oh my gosh, it's like trying to pick one, like the one, which
Yeah.
is like, there's so many. So first off, I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on the, like favorite these.
You can come back in product and see, but so many creative ways to just pick one. And
I
once
think,
you jump into that, Claudio, which one are you going to
yeah.
pick?
Okay. Again, this is always the challenge. Okay. I think I'm going to go with this one right here.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one.
I like that one right here. So I'm going to click on that one right there. And so if you notice right here, it says it's 11 by 17, which is fine, which is okay, because we're gonna do some fine tuning in here. So I'm going
Yep.
to customize this template here. So click on customize template, and this is where we get to kind of now we get to kind of make this our. Here's what I'm gonna do: is we're gonna go to resize, and once I'm in resize, you notice it says 8.5. I'm sorry, 11 by 17. So we're gonna go. So here's one of the things, everyone, as you're designing. So this is obviously it's in digital format, but I want to print this out. So this is one with intention, thinking ahead as like, okay, I'm making this, but if I eventually want to print this out, so kind of think ahead.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking of I'm gonna print this out on 8.5 by 11 sheets, and maybe like maybe I might print and fold and make it like a fold, or print it back to back. So I'll walk through like how to do that. So what I'm going to do is this one's going to be so the height is going to be 8.5, because that's the size of an 8.5. Like, so basically I'm looking at a landscape.
your photo editor, the elements, the shapes, the backgrounds, everything you need is right on that left side. So as he's customizing his resize, you have you have all those preset templates. You can browse for a resize template, but Claudio, I love pointing out that no matter where folks click on their design, that is the editor that will pop up, and it literally guides you into all the tools you have available.
Okay, so I'm gonna fix something because I said I had it backwards. I need the width to be 5.5 and the height to be 8.5. So here we go. Resize. Okay, there we go. And so FYI, everyone, is this is as you when you do the resize, it's gonna AI is gonna look at your document. So right now it's not much of a difference because it's almost pretty much the same layout, kind of the same proportions, I should say. So depending on it might be a little bit different. But I want to say it might move the items around.
Claudio, I'm checking too. I saw a comment in the chat saying they might not have audio.
Oh
So
no. Okay.
I just asked y'all, let us know if you can hear us. And we're on a side by side. We don't have oh yeah,
Okay.
we do. We have okay, let's see. I mean, I have the stream up in two places. And I think we're good, but folks in the chat, let us know
Yeah, I'm
if you
also
can
gonna
hear us.
I'm
But
gonna
Claudio, I say keep going because
keep going.
I
All right.
see,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, just keep. I'm also gonna I'm pulling up on my phone too, just to take a
Okay.
look at that. Let's see here. Okay. Timothy, I just saw his comment. It said,
Pro tip.
Yeah. Can you read that, Ann? Or can
Yeah,
you?
so to do an audio check on your phone too, Claudio, Tim Cosgrove, shout out one of our awesome Adobe Creative Educator Innovators out of Canada, saying recently discovered the Adobe Express templates can be imported into Adobe InDesign, which allows for a ton of more possibilities. And thank you, Karen, just sharing there is some buffering issues, folks. So
Yeah.
we do see that comment. Thank you for sticking in with us. We're hoping the interwebs are
Yeah.
working and no tech gremlins
Yeah.
persist. So
Let me check
okay,
something
Andy
here.
says it keeps going, buffering occasionally, but it picks right back up. So
Okay. Yeah.
thanks, Andy.
Let's see here. I'm gonna just take a look at something here and see
Okay.
if I can do something to help, but I'm not sure if it will. But hey, we're
Thank
just
you,
having some.
Adara, too, saying it picks right back up. Claudia,
Okay.
let's
Let's
just
keep
keep
going.
going.
Let's keep it going. All
Yep.
right. So we've got this invitation here. I've already resized it to 5.5 by 8.5 because again, I'm gonna create this to print out on paper. All right. So what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna take out these images here. So what I want to do is swap out these images,
Okay.
and so you can you can use your own images or use some stock. I'm going to go ahead and use some stock images here. So let's click on replace right here, and we're going to go down to photos. And obviously, if you have your own photos, swap them out with your own photos. And let's go with let's see, graduation. So what I'm trying to do is find something that's got someone that's I would should say not wearing like a graduation cap, maybe something that's I would say kind of like I would say like smiling, not necessarily have to be wearing a cap and gown, but it's okay if they're wearing a cap and gown. So let's say person smiling. So let's see here, person smiling, and let's do this graduation. See what we get. Oh, this is a cool photo right here. I like this one right here. I like a cool pose right there. That's really neat. And I'm going to move this over. And then maybe for something like this one right here, we'll hit replace, go to photos, and let's change this one out to like the hats. And what I'm going to do here.
Oh, yeah.
And then for this one is I'm going to resize. So just to let everyone know, because I did that fairly quick, I click once into, because these images are, they're grouped. And if I just say group, but there's a grid here that was created for these three photos. It's just to show you. See how I move that?
Yeah.
So these three photos are in a grid, and so they'll kind of move together. So what you'll need to do is click in again to actually get into that photo. Double click it, and I'm going to resize this so we got like a nice kind of like that right there. That's kind of cool. And then for this one, we'll replace it, and maybe let's go with the mascot. So, Anne, what is your college mascot?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to go with my high school
High school. What
mascot,
was
which
that?
was a wildcat. All of my schools, a wildcat, a bobcat, and a cougar. From elementary school, it kept progressing in its ferociousness.
Let's see. Oh, that's a tiger. So let's go. Whoa, I deleted too far. Let's
Yeah, like
go.
a mountain lion.
Let's go here. Wildcat. Let's just say, for the sake,
Sure.
that's our
Or
mascot
use
right
a tiger. Yep.
there. All right.
The concept, right?
And so as you go through and changing this out for your, I would say your school, and you talked about maybe matching colors
Yeah.
to match your school. So let's say your school colors were, let's go with like this turquoise color because I see some
Ooh,
turquoise right
yeah,
here
because it
on
goes,
her.
yeah.
Yeah. So first off, let's go class of 2026. And let's select this entire text. And we'll worry about the fonts here in a little bit, but I'm going to go over here to the color picker. This is
So
one of
while
my,
you're playing with the fonts and the colors for a minute, I want to say this. You just said the color picker, but like this is huge when designing to match official school colors. You can use those hex codes. You're going to show the color picker. There's a palette in there. That eyedropper tool, Claudio, is one of my favorite things to use. But literally, like, make it feel on brand when you have that consistent color palette that you're using for your event or matching your event identity.
so I went ahead and did like I said, color picker, and I went to
Yeah.
the stole and
Yep.
I picked the color. So very cool. I like that. Now I'm going to work on that just a little bit here, but I'm going to come down here. So we've got May 30th, which is still, we got it coming up. And then down here at the bottom, everything, like you said, everything in a template, it is editable. Now for the
Yep.
sake of this demo and time, I'm going to go ahead and leave what's already here. Now this template actually has something really neat, which is these are these little design features, that not many people like will notice. Is like this right here. This little text that was kind of hidden right there.
Yep. Yep.
Those are just like those little design elements that just make things kind of like, wow, you just kind of like give it that like,
Chef's kiss.
yeah.
Right?
And so now because I have this black text and it's got a dark background there, so this is where that you're used the design like contrast. So yeah, like for me, it's like I like the opposite, black on white or white on black, just
Yeah.
something that has
Same.
great contrast. So what I'm going to do for that text is let's make it white. So now it's visible. And that it's just something as simple as that makes a huge difference. Now, this is one of my things when I'm working like on designs, and in like some of the graphic design classes that I took many years ago, when they talk about like the usage of fonts and like what fonts that go together. So I'm gonna click on this font right here where it says New York. I'm gonna go ahead and leave what's there. It says Work Sans is the font. I'm gonna click this font here at the bottom. It's also Work Sans. Now this one right here says Gluck. I never heard of that in font. Gluck.
I haven't either.
Gluck. Gluck, I am your father.
That's
Sorry,
where I've
I
learned
had
a
to
lot
do
of
that.
new font names because they have the in-use fonts.
Yes.
So, y'all, everything that you see in the editor, it's a brilliant way to kind of just be aware of what is automatically, or you could say automagically happening in the
Yes.
template for you. But like in that editor, the in-use fonts, that is where I've picked up a ton of font names in the last couple of years.
one thing I
Claudio,
love.
there's also this like magic design tip. I say it. I know you're going to say this next. So, like, what is the best design tip when you're talking about fonts? Limit it to how many?
Okay, yeah. So it's like, is it a set rule? No, but it's kind of like one of those things where you like, if you start to have lots of fonts, it actually causes kind of like a dissonance for your reader, for whoever's viewing
Yeah.
it. Um, if you get on social, you might see a ton of promotions, and sometimes like stuff is like they just took a bunch of fonts and threw it up there. I mean,
Yeah.
good rule, two, maybe two fonts, three at the most. Like, you know, as far as like the fonts that you're using on a project, once you go start using like five different fonts, and it's like, first of all, it's like which font is where. It's more
Yeah.
like, think of hierarchy, like a certain font for like the main thing, and
Right
then
there.
another
Yep.
font below. Now I'm a sans serif font person.
Are
Um,
you?
so this font right here with serif. So if you don't know serif and sans serif, are these little tails or curly cues that come out on text or fonts. And so what I'm going to do is use another great feature in Express is recommended fonts up here.
I
And
love that one
I'm going
too.
to click on view all. And this is a great feature because this is the AI in Express that's looking at this project, and it's saying like, it's recommending like these will fit the style that
Hmm.
is in this project. It's giving me similar fonts, and then I've got some like contemporary fonts, and then if it's got some kind of like tailored for this design. But now I want to kind of steer away myself from the classic look. So I'm going to go kind of more contemporary. So I'm going to view all of the contemporary. Um, and I kind of like this. Actually, I mean,
I
these right
love a
here.
bold font.
Yeah.
I
So I'm
love
going to go
that
with this
one.
Poppins one. So, yeah. See, that one's just this kind of. Now, the great thing about the fonts is I'm going to go back and let's see if Poppins. Yes. So a lot of the fonts will have multiple styles, bold, extra light, italic, semi bold.
Yep.
So I'm going to go extra bold on this, and we're just going to resize this. Let me do one more thing. See if this works right here. Shift. There we go. So I'm holding like the options right here so I can stretch it out. And what I'm going to do with this is and you mentioned this, which is a great tip. I'm going to click here. I don't have to use this again. I'm going to go over here to
Yeah.
where you mentioned in use already. And here we go. We've
Yeah.
got this in use. Look at that.
I
What
love
I may
it.
do is maybe not go extra bold, but it's still in the family, and it's still only have two fonts, but maybe just go a little bit not as chunky for the font.
Yeah.
Um,
These are those design tips that folks might not be familiar with or might not automatically think about, but I love from the recommended or in use because the pro tip is like some of these templates already have them paired up, and then you can personalize or customize for your own completely different vibe. And as Claudio's clicking buttons, I know he leveraged those Adobe stock photos. Y'all, the Adobe stock are dynamic, beautiful, free images. And I love encouraging folks to use them. Claudio, I don't want to send kids to the ends of the internet to go searching for pictures. They don't know if they have copyright use. They don't know if they're remixable. But leveraging the Adobe stock images, I feel comfortable letting kids, because they're in there for a reason, or personalize with your own images. And
yeah.
that right there is truly where it gets personal and takes generic templates into something truly, truly special.
Yes, 100%. Now, I'm going to do one. I'm going to do the next thing. So I've got like this one side of the invitation done. So what I'm going to do is go to add a page, and I'm going to keep
Oh,
the same.
we have a font recommendation from Tim Cosgrove, Fira Sans. So that's another one that he likes using.
Oh, now I want to see what it looks like. Fira.
Right? Fira Sans.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice one too. I like that. It's clean. That's a nice one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like extra chunky. I like that. Tim, I'm going to go with your recommendation here for this one. Fira. And I'm just going to make this a little less
That is a nice
bulky, a
one.
little less
Yeah.
chunky, medium. There we go. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that. Look, I think that looks clean as well. Now,
That's awesome.
just because I know we're our time, so I'm going to do this just so I can get this. So I want to walk everyone through like, okay, I've got this one side of the invitation done. So I'm going to go over back to templates. Actually, no, not templates. Your stuff. I'm going to go to favorites. You remember when I hit the little hearts?
Yep.
This is where it comes in handy. So I clicked on those hearts, and what the reason is now is I'm going to take
right
one
there.
of those, and I'm going to say right here, add as a page, not start a new project. I'm going to add it as a page. I'm going to actually, we're going to go ahead and delete this other one from the bottom. So we've got this one, and we're going to resize this. And we're going to, again, we're going to go to inches. This is going to go 5.5, and this is going to go 8.5. Resize it because I want it to be the same size as the other one. And then we're going to go, I think that looks really cool right there. We're going to keep.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of like the way, like, so here, this is kind of what I'm envisioning.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to go and we're going to do a quick edit right here. 2026. And now because we had the colors over here, so we're going to continue those themes. Here's a tip, everyone. Hold the shift button. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. It looks like these, hold on. Okay, these are images, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of, okay, we're going to go to effects, and then we're going to go to right here to tones. And we're going to go to custom. There it is. That's the color. That way I have that theme
carried over.
Yeah. So we go effects, custom, boom. You don't have to say boom, boom when you do it. That's just kind of my...
Claudio, I like it. It's your own sound effect, right?
So, yeah,
but the parody of the coloring and the experience, of course, visually you want it to be that through line and keep on theme, on brand, etc. And folks, what he's showing is those little sparkles are actually called design elements. So it wasn't like a font. He has to go in and edit it using those Photoshop tone and effects. He's changing the font color. I think the white is a great contrast to the dark graduation robe. Claudio, that looks so classy.
Okay. Now,
that looks so classy.
One thing I did notice here, for some reason, when I come back in here, I've got this, I don't know what, this blue outline is coming up here. So it might be just, let's see here. Oh, some reason I'm getting this little blue outline, but I think that's just maybe be a little glitch. Okay, so now I've got these two things. So we're like, Claudio, okay, now I want to get these two, I want to print these onto like a sheet of paper. So we're going to go create one extra page. Everybody, custom size. We're going to go, width is going to be 11. Okay. And here's one of those things in Express. Oh, now I know what the blue line is. That's just the outline here. We're going to go to file, bleeds and margins. So look at this. If I turn it on and off, that's what's showing everybody. That's not going to print out. That's just kind of showing you margins to help you out. I'm going to have the file rulers. I want to see the rulers. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just, actually, we can do various ways to do this. So I'm going to select all and group it. And actually, I think we're going to we have to detach her from the background. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can do this.
Grab them all.
And then we're going to reorganize. Now we're going to do a little cropping here. You're like, Claudio, what? what are you doing? So this there's a method to this madness here, or madness to the
I know
method.
what you're doing, Claudio. Everybody, that photo was literally set as the background. And so he's pulling it as an individual, just layer on the canvas. That way you see it stacked in the layer stack. And it's easier to grab this way because I know he is wanting to design his bigger paper to actually print out. And the really cool thing is taking it from that first page, copying elements is going to be adding it to the other side or
Yeah.
that third page that he's added. So
So what I'm gonna do here is I selected all, copy this, and we're gonna come over here and we're gonna drop this in here. Look at that. It's already set to one side, and we're gonna come over here to this one, group this all together, copy this, and then we'll go to this side and we'll paste it in, and it's okay because it's all grouped. You're like, oh my
I
gosh,
love
okay.
it.
We're just gonna click and drag this over here, and look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Now I can download. So what I'm going to do here is download this. I'm going to go ahead and download it as a PDF for printing. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let this save, download it. So here's the thing, what I would do now is I would go and print this, and I could either fold it in half, or the thing is print it back to back. And basically you'll have the images. And so I'll print it, and then I'll bring it over here in just a sec, just to kind of
Oh,
show you
cool. I
everywhere.
can't wait.
So
Claudio, your pro tips. What are your saving, downloading, and sharing pro tips, right? Like when you choose to download, you have all those options: PDF print, PDF standard, PNG, or JPEG. Of course, for printing, you want to choose PDF print, get the highest resolution. For sharing digitally, Claudio, this is like, emailing people, posting it on social media. I'm a PNG person more than a JPEG person. But you also have that share button, which
yeah,
makes it so simple, right?
yes,
Literally share a link, drop it in a group text, share it to social, share it using the Adobe Express for collaboration, which is what, after we see your printout, in our last 10 minutes, I shared some designs with you as my collaborator, and we're going to jump in to a few more examples. Did you get it? Did it print yet?
it's so I'm printing it to both sides, so
Okay,
it's coming
okay,
out. So while it's printing,
okay.
let's go ahead and and as soon as I said that, it starts to print the other side. Okay, so we're gonna head back.
It's
We're
that
gonna
30-second printer
exactly.
delay, right?
We're gonna head back home. Um,
Yeah.
and the great thing is that the project is safe. While I'm here, I'm gonna do this really quick, and I'm just gonna show you this. This was one that we made for Hannah when she decided to go to. This is like 4 years ago. Now,
Ah,
this is not my address, so that's why I changed the address. Everyone, sorry, I didn't want
yep,
to share my address.
yep.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh, look at that. And the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Oh, look at your printout.
So basically,
Claudio.
what I would do is print these back to back, and so basically you would have
Yep,
this side on the back of this, and then this side would be on the back of this. So it's
yep.
just playing with your printer, settings and stuff like that. But again,
So
taking
cool.
something from digital and
Making it.
having
Yeah.
something tangible to use. Okay, and so all right. Now let's move on. And you shared some projects with me.
Yep.
So let's go.
So one of the things I love to do is collaborate inside of Adobe Express. I literally clicked that share button on my designs. I added Claudio's email address. So Claudio, you should see your notifications in the top right, and you can either launch from there. But I wanted to take on a few that, like, my family uses this all the time to share content. So when you jump in, you should see Anne shared with you. So click into those. And the first one, this year we're celebrating my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. So their names are Ron and Nancy, and I put in their wedding picture, replaced the image. All of these were done from a template. So all I did was wedding anniversary invitation. These elements were already in there. The only one I changed was the 55, and those are just media design assets that I clicked. edited their text box with their name. I'm wiggling their name right now. You'll
Yeah.
see it moving on your screen in just a second. Customize. This is their anniversary, December 11th. Of course, this is not our real address. I'm choosing
I love
Wonderland and
I
Never
love
Neverland.
Never Neverland.
Yeah, right. It's a gorgeous place in California, just so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I
Okay,
see the
it'll
live
click
stream
over
for
in just a
it'll
moment.
come back. It'll come back.
That's what I call camera candy. I'm like
Yeah.
frozen in this.
I know.
Okay,
We
I think we're unfrozen now, folks.
Yeah,
But
sorry
this
everyone.
one, click play on that button because I
Oh.
added some animations.
Oh my god. That's so cool. And I mean
Okay,
this is okay, tell us more.
okay. So my niece Emery is one of the most creative kids I know. She loves to draw. She makes her own illustrations. These are some of the real photographs that I used with the remove background element so you could see some of her artwork. And all I did was click on the individual pictures and I added an animation effect because I'm going to text this to my family instead of putting it in like snail mail for Emery's third annual art exhibition. But Claudio, as her TT, I tell her, you're an entrepreneur. You need to sell your artwork.
Yeah.
So notice the custom line that says, bring cash to purchase original artwork.
That's awesome.
And then it's being held at Gigi and Papa's house, and lunch will be provided.
Oh wow.
So
This is
again,
so cool, Anne. I love this.
all it was a template. And then if you click on the background layer, I just used one of those. I literally just chose the background layer and the color gradient one
Oh
for the
yeah, right
pink,
there.
yellow. Yeah. So now let's go to the next one because I know I'm not going to demo a prom invite. We talked about at the beginning, but this one I created for a school spirit day, a dance party celebration. I loved that black and white
Yeah.
photograph, how it was outlined and those elements were kind of added to embellish it. The boom box brings me back to the 80s, but
Yep.
that old school tape player to rock the music. And all I did was literally click on individual text boxes and updated the date, the time, the location, the title. So simple. But
Love that.
Claudio, the last one, if you click on it, this one I did from scratch, and I'll walk through folks through that.
Yes.
So I'm hosting a book brunch for a book that we're all reading right now called Remarkably Bright Creatures. There's a new movie that was just launched for it. This one, all I did was duplicate the page and then I added in my own custom picture and I copied it. You'll see it move in just a
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
I moved the book off screen, but you can see I duplicated the picture to create this custom white outline. And I'm going to move it back into place. So you'll see that move back in a moment. I used the custom text effects with a white ocean foam. That was my prompt. I changed some of the text boxes for it to be a bit more visually accessible, white font, black outline, and I kept it super simple. And I'm just going to text it to my friends and say,
That's
book
cool.
brunch Saturday at my house. And then in the text, I can have all of the extra details, my address, they know my phone number, etc.
So
But
awesome.
I used the generate image option to create my own custom background to generate the image. And my prompt was simple. It said 3D comic style underwater ocean scene, sunlight coming into the water, coral reef, no humans. So that was the prompt for the background. And it was just a beautiful way that I could layer all of the different elements, play with texture in that text effects, and then the real photo to make it pop as the like
Yeah.
focal point of the book and then the text at the top. I thought it was a good balance, but I
Yeah.
love that bottom right corner where
Hmm.
the coral reef is like popping over, you know?
It fits the book too. So, and
Yeah.
is that your hand right there? Is that
That
what?
is my
Okay,
hand.
that
Yeah.
is so yeah. Because I was like, how did you find that picture? And I was like, wait, that's got to be your hand.
No,
That's
it's just a
awesome.
picture from my phone, and all I did was pop it in, and then I used the remove background
Yeah.
image. So
You know,
if we were to like undo and remove
Undo.
the background. I could restore it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to, just for the sake of
Yeah.
time since we need to wrap in a few minutes. Um, but
No,
I
that's
thought those were really four completely different examples. So from graduation to school celebrations, folks could use their brand kits, folks use their school identity, their mascots, their
yes.
custom events, or any of these that you could create for your family and your friend groups. There are so many possibilities, Claudio.
And these are amazing. They're so well done. I mean, from your parents' anniversary party,
Yeah.
the art exhibition, which is so cool. I love the dance party break. Like, yeah, it's 80s vibes definitely.
Yep.
And the book one, that generated image, just like it looks like it was like printed with the book, so it's like
It's perfect,
perfectly
right?
matched.
Yeah.
So
So,
great. And I love, also just to point out, I love how you added some the animation to this, just letting people know, like, take your static image and just do the animate all, and you can add
yep.
complete animation to the entire project. It's one
Yeah.
simple thing. In taking it, if you're not going to print it out, something like this right here, you could
Yeah.
always, just do that. Wow. So, and let's go. We're a few well, before we wrap, because I do want, we have some like community invites, but like just some 3 tips for people to take with them as they go.
Yep.
Think of the projects like real projects, using templates and customizing it, kind of like teach yourself while you create. And then definitely start small. Don't worry, like, if you can't like change everything, like change little things. Don't worry about changing it entirely. I think that'll help people as they go through
Yeah.
the projects. um all right, I know we're almost out of time here, Anne, but a couple of things we want to make shout out before we close out. Just want to make sure, invite people to our ACE Adobe Creative Educator Leader community. If you have not part of this community, we invite you to join. And anything you want to say to folks about the community?
I was just going to say, y'all, this is the best way to keep learning with and from each other. So you know that Adobe at the bottom corner, adobe.ly, join ACE Leader. Every single one of you, we would love for you to be a part of this community. We share resources, ideas, inspiration. It's truly a better together
Yeah.
concept.
The other,
And anything you make, share on social, y'all. Tag
yes.
us at that Adobe EDU Creative. But my pro tip is to the entire Adobe Live community, thank you for being here. Claudio, tell us about these ones and then
Yes.
wrap us up.
We have our higher ed community as well. So if
Yep.
you're joining us and you're on the higher ed faculty, please join us. We have a community sign up as well. We'd love for you to join this community. And a last one that we have is our Adobe student community. These are like our college students. So we have some Discord groups. Please go there. Paid gigs, student events, tutorials. We have also events happening for the higher ed and ACE Leader,
Yep.
and everything. And so, this has,
Claudio, they're doing daily drops this week also.
I know they
as
did,
kids
like,
in high ed
yeah.
are going into finals. Y'all join those group me in the Discord. I know Idara, thank you, is adding the
Oh,
links in the
great.
chat.
Awesome. Thank you
But
so much.
thanks for
Thank you.
sticking in with the buffering, folks. Come
Yes,
back
everybody.
next Friday. Wezzy and I are doing the soundtrack to the school
Oh.
year and talking about recording reflection audiograms inside Adobe Express, and that one's
Don't
going
want
to
to
be
miss it.
super rad.
Definitely
yeah.
be here, everyone. Don't forget, everyone, subscribe to the channel. And we thank you, Anne, for putting in there. Thank you for sticking with us through some of the sticky buffering issues we had today. We appreciate you all. Try out Adobe Express if you have not tried it out. We're looking forward to whatever celebration content you create for graduations, proms, anniversaries, parties. If you want to invite me, if I'm around, I'll be glad to join you as well. So, everyone, Anne, any last words?
No, y'all, take time to take care of you. Enjoy all the special celebrations in your life. And thank you for being such a special part of the Adobe community.
Bye, everyone. Okay, we are out.
You want to know my favorite part?
Oh my God.